so far in this campaign?
So, of course, we have seen that, there's been a bit of obstruction starting for the National Unity Platform president, especially in Lira. But I want to commend about 2-3 things he did, although the chairperson of the Electoral Commission says he was disappointed. In an election, you have to identify your strong areas. So Bobiwine went to the streets and bought maize and ate it with the people on the street. That is a plus for him. It shows that he's the people's, he's a Mubanda, original person for the people. He lives with the people.
Common man.
Common man. Eh? The people's people. Eh? Omuntu wa wansi. You know, that whole thing. But he was condemned by the Electoral Commission for having taken that action, saying he was not supposed to do anything outside the designated campaign areas. And the chairperson of the Electoral Commission said he's going to be summoning him over that act. But I found that act humane.
The act of eating maize with...
Eating maize with the ordinary Ugandans. I found it very humane, and I also found it very appealing to an ordinary voter. Because the president does it every once in a while. He sees people digging in a garden. We saw even a clip. He stopped. He called the woman who waited, said, "I've seen the president. I can't believe it," because she didn't know that he was even going to pass by the place where
he has even been buying shoes.
Yes, so
from the boys working in the
so I thought it's only fair that if one candidate does something, let the other one also do what he also feels he can do.
What exactly did he say is a problem with him buying?
The chairperson of the Electoral Commission said that they issued guidelines on how campaigns are going to be conducted in 2025, 2026. And amongst the guidelines is that you're driven from your house straight to the ground where the campaign is going to take place. You don't stop anywhere. You do not interfere with business centers, roadside traders, and ordinary citizens that are on the road, and ensure there are no processions. Doctor is here, she will tell us in the guidelines. Did they tell you that you cannot hold processions?
No, it's not there.
But he said you cannot hold processions, and he said he's going to summon you over these actions. Now, so then we have also seen the slogan, protecting the gains. And indeed, I like the listener who said, what gains are they protecting? I think what should have happened is that the NRM should have said enhancing the gains. That English word would have helped them to get away with it. When the president, for example, was in Karamoja, he was saying you don't have infrastructure. I'm going to establish roads for you. So now, in that instance, what is he protecting? If he's just going to establish infrastructure.
There's another word beyond, protecting the gains. There's leaping into the first world economy.
Yeah, but the tagline...
forgets that NRA is a military outfit. So they talk in terms of military. Protecting is a military term.
Whether it is a military term or whatever, the tagline does not augur well with the programs as we are seeing them on the ground. When the president was in Karamoja, he talked about education and how he's going to enhance the education programs for the people in Karamoja, meaning there is a shortfall in the programs of education, there's a shortfall in infrastructure, there's poverty levels. He also talked about the poverty, he recognizes it, and even as he begins to move around Teso, he does recognize that there is poverty, he recognizes there's a shortfall in infrastructure, and he then says, this is what I'm going to do, but he's been here for 40 years. And so he needed to have come to say, this is what we have done, and this is how we are going to improve. But while he moved in these areas, he actually discovered that many gaps existed in terms of lack of health centers, in terms of good education, in terms of road infrastructure. And he said, this is what I'm going to work on in the next Chisanja. But I wanted to tell you that we did an analysis of the NRM manifesto. And we said there are some things they had that were strong, but they had very many weaknesses. Of course, the manifesto is the document for which we hold them accountable. We also did the same for the FDC manifesto, and we did the same for the National Unity Platform manifesto, and did the same for the ANT manifesto. But I will not be able to go into all of them because of time. But I will say two things. The NRM ignored tourism. Then the question of unemployment for young people and exporting them as maize and whatever continues to linger on our heads. Thirdly, they didn't think about the Ugandans who keep remitting money to this economy. Had they had a plan to enhance their foreign policy, to focus on Ugandans abroad, to increase on the FDI, we probably would have more money coming into our economy. I will let go at that.
All right. I will